Next up, we have our first official casting announcements of the new James Gunn DC universe, and I kind of love that it was for an animated series first. But again, James Gunn has reiterated any character that's voicing someone will also show up as them in live action form when it is required. So we have more or less the entire cast for the upcoming series Creature Commandos, which even diehard comic book fans are just going, I'm going to pretend I know what this is because I have a reputation. Josh and I don't care. We have no reputation. I have no idea who the Creature Commandos were before it got announced. But looking at the roster, I'm going, this sounds like it's for me. We've got a Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster, whatever one Josh wants to be pedantic about this week. You get a Bride of Frankenstein. You get
his name is Eric Frankenstein.
Eric Frankenstein.
This is so great.
Weasel Senior, I'm pretty sure. It's a whole eclectic cast. But looking at this cast, I'm going, James Gunn has been let in the kitchen because this man is cooking, and he's cooking up. Although, to be fair, one of them was completely spoiled a few days before it got dropped because Frank Grillo is a grumpy old man who doesn't know when to shut his mouth. Frank Grillo, known for Warrior, I believe he was in The Gray. He's been in a whole bunch of different action movies.
Yeah.
He's going to be the lead. He's going to be voicing Rick Flag Sr. and going,
yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's just like, I left Marvel because I was Crossbones and they really didn't want to do anything with my character, to which I wholeheartedly agree. I always thought Crossbones was super cool, even though they completely wasted him. They really did nothing with Crossbones, which sucks. Because, honestly, Crossbones would be a great villain for Sam Wilson's Captain America now. I think those would be very evenly matched.
I agree.
No, we have to blow him up to be the catalyst for Civil War. Then you also have...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I won't go on a Civil War rant.
We'll talk about Civil War later, though.
Yeah.
We also have Maria Bakalova as Ilan Rostovic? Okay.
That's got to be the one with the bubble on their head, I think.
Oh, the one that looks like Abe Sapien from Hellboy?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
I just like looking at the picture that I'm trying to, because obviously the bride.
Which one's the bride?
Which one's that?
Then we also have Game of Thrones and Obi-Wan actress Indira Varma as the bride. Cool. She was fine in Obi-Wan. I just don't think the show gave a lot of actors the material that they could have really used to their benefit. She was great in Game of Thrones, though. Zoe Chow as Nina Mazurki? I'm terrible with pronunciations.
Mazurski?
Although I can name this one. Alan Tudyk! Heck yes! You just put Alan Tudyk in anything, and I am there. Y'all, Alan Tudyk is in a lot more than you think he is. He's in Josh's all-time favorite TV show, Firefly. He gets murdered. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. He's going to be playing Dr. Phosphorus. I don't know the character at all, but that is the coolest / most Bible-man-ish name ever. Dr. Phosphorus. But again, you have Frank Grillo and Alan Tudyk in the same project together. I am there because Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is one of the best horror comedies of all time. But then the real hook. David Harbour as a big, lumbering, scary man with different colored skin. He's returning as Hellboy. No, he's going to be playing Eric Frankenstein, and he's going to do much better this time around than Hellboy. But I'm going, oh yeah.
Yeah, that works for me on a lot of levels.
I know some people were thinking, but Ron Perlman was up for it, and James Gunn's like, no, he wasn't. I love Ron Perlman, but no, he was never in consideration for this. So I'm excited to see him both voice it, but also see him as Frankenstein. And lastly, because it's a James Gunn movie, Sean Gunn has to be in here somewhere, so he's going to be pulling double duty as he's going to be G.I. Robot and Weasel Senior. Because he was Weasel in the last one. Did anyone check to see if Weasel could swim? Still the hardest I've laughed in
one of my
years.
favorite bits, yeah.
What stands out to you, Josh?
Obviously, Alan Tudyk. Love him in pretty much everything he's in. Frank Grillo, super excited. David Harbour as Eric Frankenstein. Just that is so like, Oh, that is such casting. Honestly, I love that this is a animated show. I love that this is something that is not necessarily well known. Um, Typical James Gunn project, basically. But I'm excited that like all these people, we're going to see all these people as these people in live action if they ever come to live action, which is that's so cool. I like that so much. I will say, and I kind of want to bring this up to you because I don't know if you and I have ever had this discussion, at least on the podcast. Um, I do remember seeing a little backlash to I mean, it's James Gunn, but to the comment that if you play them in animation, we would like you to play them in live action. I saw some backlash to that from voice actors. I don't know how I feel about it from that perspective.
Same.
Because there's a lot, to me, I love the idea of a voice actor getting more than just voice work. But then again, that might be not something that they want to do. So
True. Look at Ashley Eckstein for Ahsoka.
Yeah, exactly. So it's we'll see, I guess. I really hope that this brings some people that have been trying to get into that live action, genre, but have only been relegated to voice work. You could probably rattle off some names there, but like, I just don't know how I feel about. While it makes me excited because of stuff like David Harbour as Eric Frankenstein and Frank Grillo being somebody like knowing that, okay, cool. So if you voice those people, we're going to see those people and you as that person. But I worry that because I just never want voice actors to be out of work because it's such a cannibalized industry already. And I just, yeah, I am a little worried, but I don't know. You and I have never discussed that on the pod, so I did want to bring that up a little bit.
I'm kind of with you in the same way of just like, I do want voice actors to get more respect and recognition, and I understand where they're coming from. My thought is usually animated projects are only ever intended as animated projects, so I think it's interesting planning them to be animated stuff, live action appearances if they're doing video games. So I get it from that perspective because you could have like an Ashley Eckstein who voiced Ahsoka for many years and express not really having an interest in doing a live action version of Ahsoka. Totally understand that. Or you could have someone like a Laura Bailey who voiced why am I blanking on the character's name? The one that no one likes from Last of Us 2. She doesn't look like that character, but she does a great job voice performing as that character. So I think expressly conveying that this will be across different mediums, I think kind of has a different impact to me of like, okay, they're clearly planning something different. What I'm also hoping, and maybe it's just me being naive, is because they're putting celebrities in this, quote unquote celebrities, not like top tier people, but more recognizable names than voice actors, that what James Gunn might be doing is trying to get more eyeballs on the art of animation itself, because then you're just like, okay, by proxy,
yeah,
let's expand this out type of thing. If they wanted to cast some voice actors and then also have them in live action, totally cool. I'd be super down with that as well. But yeah, I'm also kind of conflicted because I get it, but at the same time, it is tough for voice actors. But yeah, it's usually animated stuff is intended for animation only. If you're a good enough voice actor, you can really slip into any role. You're more versatile in that way. But they're going for a very specific thing, and I don't think that's a bad thing. If anything, it could be more foresight than, again, we don't want to compare the two, but Marvel, one of the big issues I had with Marvel's What If is only getting like half of the original cast back.
Yeah.
So when you're listening to it, yeah, like Ant-Man's accurate, Hawkeye's accurate, but then you get some glaring differences that you're just like, oh, that's not quite right. So having more uniformity could be a really good thing. So I think that's kind of where I land on it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's where I land too. Because then we would get into this really big messy discussion about like Okay, cool. So how is this situation any different from like how they cast Pixar movies or how they cast, any other animation project? Which to the voice actors credits, like that's also an issue that they only go for celebrity voices these days, and that's not, for better or for worse. So we'll find out. I'm excited about this casting. I'm excited about the show just because it's so different, and I love me some different. So, but yeah, let's give it to me, James Gunn. Wait,
Not your weirdest
wait.
slip up.
Yeah. Anyway,